So it's basically a lazy Monday, if you will. I have some other stuff that I need to do before I can get to work. But like, I gotta get this fridge out of here. I gotta get my plasma taped up and ready to ship. Get it out of here. Uh, Clean up a little bit. I need to clean up the garage, so I gotta back the truck out to get the front clip in to where I can put it on and start doing everything on that. So basically, it's like there's nothing I can film today. Everything will be tomorrow. But it's Monday, so had to say, welcome back to the Big Guy Garage. Everybody said just keep the name, and I'll be honest with you, I'm having a struggle with, I don't know, the name just don't seem to be popping with everybody, but everybody says it's fine. The other name I was thinking was Fats Customs, because, big guy. But it was going to be like PFAT and then KUSTOMZ, Fats Customs. I figured that'd make a nice shirt too. The Big Guy Garage shirt's a little hard to fit on a shirt. But I am coming up with some other ideas. If I'm keeping the name, I just want to change up the logo and stuff a little bit. But as for today, as I said, I got to get this fridge out of here that's scrap. My plasma's in this Craftsman box. I need to like super heavy duct tape it if I can find my duct tape. But yeah, that's basically it for today. If I do anything else, I'll make sure and record it and show you guys later. But for now, I just cleaning, getting stuff out of my way, getting ready to move the front clip in, and possibly even going and getting the other back half to put it on. And after it's on, the bed can literally go on. I'll just have to fix the brake lines, the fuel lines, etc. And bleed the brakes. I can actually do that before I put the front clip on. And then, yeah, it'll go pretty quick now. This thing, I'm hopefully going to have this thing done before Christmas. Christmas money. My Christmas money, not yours. You can't have it. But, yeah. So, I'm going to get out of here and get busy. Get this stuff moving. Again, like, share, subscribe. You guys are helping a lot with the video views. They're doing pretty good. Of course, I'm not 5,000-6,000 like everybody else, but hey, I'm happy for what I'm getting. Anything I get is better than nothing at all. So, be happy with what you got, and Merry Christmas. So, let's move on. Let's get busy. Alright, so today, as you can see, I'm not in my garage. I'm in a Uber garage. But we're here to get the frame off the S10. Somebody has put the wrong motor in here. This has actually got the Vortec with the orange paint. I think it's like a 95 through 97 Vortec. So, sold it cheap. Now I'm going to cut the frame off and everything. Start by unbolting this bed. But there's some funny stuff on here. Let me show you. As you can see, we got some chicken poopy. Some wiring. It's actually like a piece of whatchamacallit, barbed wire. Burt JB Weld self-tapper. Pop can and baling wire on a brush muffler, a glass pack. Not even in the right spot. We don't know how much gas is in here versus water, but we broke the line right here, and it smells like pure water. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the frame about right here. We're just gonna cut through the wiring and all. I'm gonna snip these lines and just leave them. We'll pull it all back. This side's even easier. This is just literally a cut and done. Got to unbolt the body mounts. I'm actually going to leave it up in the air, but the first thing I'm going to do is pull this drive shaft, cut this exhaust off, and yeah, start from there. But we're getting the frame. Not the entire frame, just like the partial frame. About to here. Yeah, I'm about to here should be good. I might go a little further. I might go right here, just in case. But that's the frame for the other truck. The Studebaker. Well, got the the frame cut. On my way back home to get the trailer now. Driving, of course. So, gotta get the trailer, get back out here, get the frame, take it back to the house. Basically got everything with it. Fuel tank, drive shaft, everything's still there. Should have cut plenty enough to reuse. The tank that's in it is full of water, which is not good. So all that'll probably just go straight to the junk pile. Probably keep the drive shaft around or give it back to him, whatever he wants. But headed home now, and I'm driving. Don't like driving and recording, so see you when I get to the house. All right, the frame's here. Don't worry about how we loaded it and stuff, you know, hillbilly stuff. Don't worry about that. But when I was cutting the lines and everything, I was like, I wonder if it's got gas in it. It don't. It's water. So that tank and everything's garbage. What else has to come off? Oh, it has no back brakes, so I have to do back brakes on here. Fix all the lines that are going to go to the new old pump on the other frame. We got plenty of length on both sides. Yeah, it's full of dirt. Back bumper's got to go. Spare tire holder's got to go. Other than that, everything else is good. I got to pull the wheels and tires off of it, of course. But yeah, we got the frame here. Gonna unload it tomorrow. Oh, not really tomorrow. I ain't gotta worry about it for a while. I gotta get the truck out tomorrow and do the front end. Get it in there so I can start working on putting the radiator and AC condenser and everything in it. It's gonna be a fun fit. I hope the radiator cap on the one Jeff got, the owner, sticks out like this way, because if it don't and it's on top, it's going to be a booger, because I need to push that radiator back in there. But that's basically it for today. We're going to go inside and chill out. So yesterday it was a nice whopping near 70 degrees outside. I mean, it was good. It was beautiful out. Today it's 45. Sucks. This is Kentucky weather. It'll go 50, 70, 30, 50, 40, 60. That's how Kentucky weather works. It will freeze you 1 second and melt you the next. But what I am going to have to do today, besides move this hood one-handed because it sucks, I gotta push the truck out. I gotta get the front clip in. Then when I get the front clip in, I'm gonna push the truck back in and start working on getting the radiator and AC condenser, which is over there, mounted to the front clip that's outside. So that's fun. And it's cold, which means more than likely when I crush a finger, because hey, it's what we do, crush fingers. I'm trying to unlock my door one-handed. Get over there. But anyway, what we do, you hit fingers, you crush fingers, whatnot, and you get stuff done. So let's get this done. Though it looks absolutely gorgeous out, it is absolutely dreadful. Yeah. I'm gonna get this truck out, get this front clip in, and stop showing you all my garbage. Let's get busy. And just like that, we're in. And I'm tired. This cold weather sucks. Zaps me. Again, as you saw out there on a trailer, I already got the frame here. I'm not worried about cutting it right now. I'm not worried about doing that. That'll be pretty easy, actually. It'll probably take longer to reconnect all the lines and fix the brakes on that new frame than it will to actually cut it and weld it. It's funny. That's how it works. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm pretty sure this one has either, well, I'm pretty sure it's either a lower or upper ball joint's bad on it. But I don't have to fix any of that that I'm aware of. If I had to guess, it's an upper. Tilting in, I would say so. But front end's in. Nose is running like crazy. I'm going to go take a warm-up break here. And then we'll start figuring out the heater, AC, or not the heater, but the AC condenser and the radiator. I hope the AC condenser will fit all the way in, like I can snake it in, or even possibly like cut out this right here, a hole to run them two lines through, and that'll be, pretty sexy to me. But all that stuff has to stay because it's just the way it is. But God, I just did a Mortsky and pudding thing there with just the way it is. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to try to do. Get that condenser in first, and then start stuffing the radiator. Which the radiator is going to be pretty easy. There's a lot to mount to there. But the condenser will be the hard part, as it needs, I'm going to have to make new brackets just to hold it and everything. Yeah, so it's going to be fun on a bun. The real hard part is actually that when I get it in there, as you can see, it's going to be tough to keep the grills and everything on and then put it through. I ain't pulling them grills out. I'm going to try my best not to pull them grills. But it's pretty wide, and I've got from, of course, inner to inner, use your big boy words, inner to get it in there. And I still might be able to get that battery to fit in there. I might. But it all depends on after I get it on. I'll have him make the decision. It will be kind of tight to get in and out up here. So we'll figure that all out after we get it on. I do need to jack this thing up, pull them oil coolers. I can do that anytime, but I'd like to get it done before I put the front clip on. Yeah, so then I got to find somewhere to run all the headlight wiring, which there's like nothing there. I guess I'll just have to get it. Now I just saw those little angle pieces inside of there. That's going to make it even tougher because it's awfully tall, and those are supports, so for the condenser. We'll figure it all out. But I'm going to go take a breaky break, get me a lot to drink, and come on back out. Get busy. Alright, so I'm not super smart or anything, but I feel like I can see a lot of this stuff go together in my mind. It's going to fit back in there pretty easily. I'm probably going to have to take this off, which technically is a radiator support, but it's a core support, whatever. So I have to pull it off just so I can bend these back a little bit to stuff it in there, because I can't get it in with this. It's too rigid. And the lines are going to come out about right next to the fender right there, which is fantastic. And by looking at the lines of this and sort of eyeballing it and looking at the lines up there where it comes from, these should be about right here, which is perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. It probably can be in here. Actually, it's about where it's going to be. Yeah, about right there. So I think that'll work. I do have some room on the line to bend it a little bit more forward and down or whatnot. I did recently find out you can actually cut these, add in pipe with some quick connectors. You know, they work. I don't see anything bad about them, but that's a possibility. That one also has to get hooked to whatever it hooks to on that aftermarket heat and AC unit, and it gets hooked back to the condenser and everything, or not the condenser, the I don't know what that thing's called. That might not even get used. I'll have to read the book on that one. But that's later. I'm not worried about that now. I'm worried about getting this to get to this and in. So the real hard part comes after, because I have to figure out how to mount this from the inside-ish. You know what I'm saying? Um, I can use small bolts and nuts. That's not a big problem because there's a little edge of metal here, which is how it went on the other core, was just you drilled straight through it with a self-tapper. But I don't have that luxury from the inside, so I'm going to have to try to eyeball it and screw through this way to connect to these, or make mounts off of these and then put bigger bolts and nuts, which I probably will end up doing. I'll do 2 holes here, screw in a piece of that metal, which is like it's dryer metal, but it's the same thickness as everything else, so it's just enough to hold it and keep it rigid. And probably have to find some little piece of rubber or something to put in between it to hold it. But that's what I'm gonna have to do now. Is I'm gonna have to take this off to where I can get that in, cut a hole for it, and at that point try to bolt it on. So it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, and then from that point it'll be pretty easy to get the radiator in, because it actually fits in here, and that's what I need. But it is a 4-core with a fan. It's like 7 inches thick. It's really thick, and we don't have that much room to fit it in here, plus add the fan and not hit the pulley on the front of the water pump. There's just not that much room. So I might even have to space this out quite a bit further back. If I can find like sort of a 1-inch spacer to where I can go in an extra inch on the radiator, it'll definitely help a lot. I ain't checked where the fill is yet on the radiator. I hope it's sort of like bumped out and up, because the further I can get this in, the better off we'll be not having to worry about hitting anything. Radiator hoses, that's a whole nother issue. Trans lines, whole nother issue. You technically have to get your front clip on with your radiator and everything before you can even think about those. So, first things first, core. Alright, so as you can see with our radiator, I'm trying to hold my phone, it's weird. It's got a fan already mounted on it. It's already got a shield for the fan, you know. But what I just noticed is these are actually too wide. And what I'm thinking actually is, if I remove the fan shroud off, bend these tabs flat, and I can mount them straight to here. But I can also get the radiator back in there some more, because these are hitting. But as I said, it's a 4-core monster with the electric fan and heat shroud, or fan shroud. It is like a full-on 7-inch thick. It's a thick boy. Let me actually see if I can get a measurement. Whew, yeah, about 7 inches thick. Yeah, boy, 7 inches. Gosh. So it's a monster. So we have to make it fit in there on top of the AC condenser. But you know, I can remove these. The bottom ones are wider, actually. I just noticed that. So that's even more of a problem to fit in the radiator. Yeah, so we're probably going to be taking the shroud and fan off, mounting it separately, but, you know, still with it. So, because we'll have to move, might just have to bend these out flat and hook it in there and then mount it from this way. I don't know. It's all getting very difficult now because we're talking tight tolerances with this stuff, because your fan shroud and fan need to be close to your radiator to pull air. It also needs to be close to your AC condenser to pull air. This is a pull type. But the good thing is our thermostat, or not thermostat, our water neck is actually out further. So we have plenty of room. We can probably mount this thing about flush, which will be perfect for this. But that means it does stick back into the hole further. So that will have to be spaced. Yep. So I think I know what I got to do now. I have to space this out. Got to find some sort of rubber spacers or something to space it out. Thought I had some. I might have some in the bowl of all the stuff I took off. And if not, I'll have to make something ingenious out of a piece of thick rubber. They need to be about 1 inch space, I would say. Space that back 1 inch, and that'll be pretty much with the radiator still. I don't want it touching though, so that way it don't, you know, rub a hole in either one. But how much room do we got back here? Is it dead flat? Okay, no, we got plenty of room back here. We got a good 1/2 inch, so it ain't going to rub it through on this. But it still could come close. Oh, that's got a 1/4 inch. So they could possibly be somewhat touching, but not. I don't want them touching. So that's, again, where we're at. Trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, which in our case is a coffin and a rectangle. And a coffin and a rectangle. I just made it sound real simple. It's not. Alright, it's getting pretty chilly out here. I haven't had my heat on for a while, but I wanted to show you what I come up with. As you can see, we're mostly mounted, and what I had came up with is some 1/4 inch bolts and nuts, of course, and this. This is a vibration reducer or a whatever for your window wiper motor. So you use this in between your AC condenser and your whatever, you know, your inner fenders or whatever. And that one will space it back. And 2, it won't vibrate a hole in anything. So now, you know, as you can see, I've already got 3 in because I wanted to show you this before I put the 4th in. But you got to sort of like break your arm and crap, get it back into these holes. This side's easy, of course, because it's closer. This side is further in, so it's pretty hard. But yeah, nothing special. Goes in there pretty easy. Luckily I had 4 of these. So we're going to put this last one on, and I might call it a day. I'm trying to conserve as much heat as I can for the colder days if this is still in here. If not, then, you know, cool. But as of now, trying to conserve as much propane as I can. I'm going to get this one in, tighten all these bolts down real good. Bolt the ace or the core support thing back in and start working on the radiator before I call it a night. But yep, there you go. That's how you do it. Pretty easy. Just difficult to get your hands in the right spots. And as you can see, there's clearance for here, clearance through all the way back down through there. Nothing's touching, and it should give us room to push the radiator in an extra at least 1/2 inch. But I think also that I can take and cut this part out, that's the edge, and shove them brackets back in. Yeah, there it is, the brackets on the sides back in, and mount them through the sides. So yeah, it might come out pretty easy. let's hope I didn't just jinx myself. So let's get this one in, get back to it. Alright, AC condenser is in, the core sport's back on, everything bolted up. We still got good clearance on everything, so golden. Let's get this radiator over here. Oh, this is a big boy. Let's see what we got now. It's not that heavy, but it's heavy. Might have to cut the feet off. In fact, that's probably a positive. I'm gonna have to cut these feet off down there, the very small ones, and then try to stuff it in there. Oh, by the way, I'm going to tell you the most amazing thing. These holes, I actually measured them out and drilled them and got them almost perfect. That's the only one I had to widen just a little bit. I'll never do that again, guarantee you. I've never done that before. It was pure luck, but I was tripping. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Never done it before. But let me see if I can't figure out this thing a little bit, and I'll cut you back on, or I might call it for today. It's getting cold, like real cold. It's like 40 in here, and I ain't turned the gas on yet. So, let's work on this first. Well, as you can see, the frame's off the trailer. I ain't been doing much. Been too busy helping my parents' Christmas shop for my nieces. Yeah, the little trailer we use. But I gotta go in the garage, check on stuff. I gotta take my label on my box for the plasma to be sent back. I know you guys can't see squat right now. Anywho, I have got to finish that tomorrow, get the front clip on. I'll be super happy, but getting ready to tape this label on. Kind of get some packing tape, of course, for the plasma. So I'm gonna jam that out real quick, and that'll be it for today, basically. Though today is Friday, I need to have video out Sunday. I'll finish that tomorrow and hopefully get it on. It is pretty warm right now. I might just hammer on this a little bit. While my nieces are here playing PlayStation, I can't play. But I'll tell you what else I need to have. I need to clean this storage spot. I need to sweep out all these cobwebs while there's no spiders around, because them bad boys are big. But I need to move all this stuff over more to get me some more room. That's not going to get used until next year. That's fine. Most of this stuff goes to the Studebaker, and then most of this stuff goes to the C10 or the C15, sorry. And there's my bumpers for my Caprice, a lot of Caprice parts, Impala stuff. Yeah, I need to get stuff more usable to where I'm space friendly here. This stuff gets on my nerves sometimes. Cleaned all this only to make a bigger mess in there. So yeah, but I think that's what I'll do. I'll work on this a little bit after I tape this box up and get it ready for Monday. And we'll get some work done. While I have your attention, also, check these out. These are from Olsa Tools. These are like, I'm going to say middle grade. They're not, super high, expensive grade tools, but they're not, Craftsman or whatever. They're pretty high up. These are a 3-piece set. You get these for about $90 on Amazon. Yeah. But these things are wicked nice. I haven't used them yet, but they do have a good hard clink on the teeth, if you listen. Yeah, you hear that big chirp? They've got that means they got a good tooth to them. But I haven't broke these bad boys out yet. I'm going to soon. But check them out. They're like 87. Probably going to be about $90 after shipping, unless you have Prime. But yeah, check them bad boys out. I love them. I ain't used them yet, but I love them still. Gotta find somewhere to put them till I can use them, keep them in the case. Alright, I have the core cut already to where my radiator will sit back in there. What I did was I took an old broken socket and made two 5-8 spacers that are going to go between this one and here, because it's real tight, or real loose on the top, pretty tight on the bottom. Burnt the crap out of my finger. But now what I'm going to do is drill a, what is it, 24/64ths? Yeah, 24/64ths hole to where I can use 5/16 bolts and nuts to hold everything together up here. And then after that, I'll drill the bottoms. But I have to drill kind of close to here and kind of close to this backside, right in here, to make sure it fits. And I also actually just realized I need to give it a little bit extra because it does touch the AC condenser. Well, actually, you know what? No, I don't either, because I got a big lip here. So, and I've got a lip here, so I can actually let them touch, and they'll self-clearance. Don't you love that? Self-clearance? But that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put the radiator up here. I can't really film because, you know, I'm up in the zone here, and there's nowhere to put my camera. You'd just be looking at my back or my arm or something. So, pretty much off camera doing most of this. There's just not enough room. But it's going good. It's fitting fantastic. I burnt the fire out of my finger. I'm going to mention that again. It hurts. I just did it because them things are super hot, them spacers I made. But yeah, drill these holes. Drill these holes. Those are scary holes. I'll probably find a small piece of steel or something to put there to where when I go through, it doesn't go through. So, yeah. Moving along, it's going to be mounted pretty quick. This is actually wicked easy with this style of radiator. But that's what I'm working on. And it's raining, if you can't tell. So, I'm going to get back to jamming with my laptop. And, yeah. Let's get this thing in, mounted. And tomorrow, I should be able to test fit it on the Studebaker. And that'll be the end of the video for the week. It's a pretty good week. Well, unfortunately, I've hit the end of today, and what's stopping me? 5/16 bolt. Reason being, these are 1 inch. I have 3/4 1 inch on hand. Focus. But anywho, the what I need is about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. Same 5/16, but I don't have any. That means I'm gonna have to go to the hardware tomorrow. It's too late now. But the spacers I made are perfect. These are going to work perfect when they're the right size to fit it in there. Everything's going good. The bottom, I haven't quite figured out where I'm going to drill them yet. Probably in between. There's these bolts that hold the core on. Down here on the bottom. You can see I've had to grind the actual nut cert thing off to fit it. But I was hoping to reuse them. It ain't gonna happen. So what I'll do is probably drill right here in front of it and bolt nut through there into these. Now these don't need spacers down here. These tabs, they fit in there real tight. So that's good. Tops though, they're in a lot further, as you can tell. Yeah. So those stop me today. They won't stop me tomorrow. I'm going to get some hardware, put that in there. Probably going to get some 5/16 nylock nuts too, so they never back out. And then we will be ready to test fit the front end and see if the radiator and the fan and everything clears, which I know it will, because we're literally back into here now, and I thought before it'd fit here. So we're only like, I don't know, how wide is that? We're only about 3 inches out instead of the 7 we were before. I hope it fits. We ain't got to worry about a condenser fan. No, I ain't got a condenser fan. It's a clutch fan or mechanical, whatever clutch. But yes, sir. That's the end of me today. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have the front clip on and all spiffy. Alright, so I went and got the rest of the hardware I needed. The radiator is mounted. It's pretty stout on there. 5/16 bolts on the bottom, nylocks. 5/16 bolts on the top with nylocks, spaced out. It's in there pretty straight up and down if you're looking at them lines. I hope it's in there far enough to give me what I need to fit the space between it and the water pump. But that's done. My next step before I put this front end on, one, I want to bend these trans lines over this way toward the engine, and I need to pull the oil cooler off. And after that, we can test fit the front end. If the front end fits, that'll be the end of the video for this week. So let's see what happens. Well, I guess while I'm at it, I might as well put these wheel spacers on. Monster thick boys, 3 inchers. I don't think they only go to like 4. I don't recommend it, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Of course, it does come with red Loctite, which is like the cheesiest applicator. But we're gonna pull this wheel off, get the spacer on, pull the oil cooler lines and oil cooler before we put it all back together. So might as well do it while I'm here. They need to go on before the front clip goes on anyway. Lord have mercy, I'm upset right now. Got the wheel off, finally. And the reason I say finally is, who puts these on like that? Hold on, focus up. Look at this. Look at this garbage. I know it wasn't the owner of the truck. These are gonna have to be replaced. Come on. It destroyed them lug nuts. They're toast. What are you people doing out there? Stop it. Impact doesn't mean put it on as hard as you can and hope. Jesus. Now for you guys who are possibly doing the swap on an S10 and has an oil cooler and you want to remove it, this is the oil cooler. It's a mess, but it's pretty simple to take off. There's 2 star bolts here that go up into the block, and this is bolted into here. You will have to remove that right here because this goes back into your block and your oil filter screws onto it. That's all it is. That simple. Pull that off. Pull the gasket that's going to be under here, that's stuck to the block. Pull it off. Screw this back in. Put your filter back on. You're done. Easy peasy. But that's a mess. It's pretty tight to get that off there, but once I had a good leverage on it, popped right off. So, go put this back on. Take a pick or something and pull the old gasket off, because it's like your oil filter gasket. Put it back together. And your oil filter or oil cooler is no more. So if you look right there, whoop, you have to pull that orange ring down. That's the seal. Put that piece back in right here. Goes up in there in the center hole. And guess what? Your oil cooler lines are gone and no more. That's simple. Well, I'm trying to finish out the week here by having this front clip on, but it's fighting me every step of the way. Oil cooler's off, oil filter's back on, went and got wheel studs, so now I gotta pull this off. And unfortunately, no, I can just pull off. Yeah, I just gotta pull off the brakes, but still, I gotta pull the brakes off, pull the whole rotor off because it's the kind, built in, and put studs in, put it back together, put the wheel spacer on, put the wheel back on, and then do the other side. Hopefully the other side has no messed up studs, but fun. So just gonna gotta do it, try to get it done to where I can test fit this to finish the video. Alright, you saw I got that side done, spaced out, oil coolers off. This was the wheel stud installer I was using, in case you couldn't tell in the video. I know a lot of people use washers and stuff, but really that don't work out good. It don't like really suck it in good and tight. That does. I'm gonna put the spacer on this side. Hopefully these studs aren't bad. I got one extra just in case. If it's bad, I'll have to get more tomorrow. And, well, the video will just be here now. So, I'll tell you. I'll show you. Because once this side's on, we can start test fitting the front clip. This side was flawless. Everything went on and off good. So, wheel spacers are on. The oil thing. Oh, God. Sorry, brain fart. The oil cooler, it's off. Yeah, it's gone. Radiator's on, AC condenser's on. It's time to test fit. This is where it's going to be fun, because this thing's probably 40 pounds heavier now. And that's before I even added the hood latch. It's not on yet. But I'm going to put my wires somewhere to where I know they ain't going to get cut. Bend these trans lines and do the test fit. Alright, so the front clip is sitting there. Why isn't it on? Well, it's not good. You see, I literally have the radiator back as far as it'll go. I have no more room to move the AC condenser back. I just checked that. So that ain't happening. and we're hitting the water pump bolts. Maybe if I cut the water pump bolts off, it'll work, but it's going to be like an 1/8 to a 1/4 inch away. And then I noticed that it's all pushing that way, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out why won't it come this way. I need to go right. Well, that's because that bottom mount on the radiator is hitting the gearbox. So I have no clue what to do there. So that's fun, you know. Let me see if I can get a light to show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so if you look down in there, yeah, all of that is hitting the box, every bit of it. In fact, I'm on top of the bolt right now. This is touching everything there, but that is literally the only two things holding me back. So for this week, that's it. Next week, I'll pull it back off. I'm gonna cut them bolts off the water pump for sure, because it's like touchy everything. But as far as that lower support goes and hitting the gearbox, I don't know what to do. Honestly, it's the first time I've come across this, but I'll have to find a way to fix it. I don't know if it can just be cut out down there. I'll look at it a little bit more here in a minute. It's also hitting the brake master cylinder, and the reason being is because, again, that gearbox is pushing it that way, and it needs to come this way. So yeah, we're not in a happy zone right now. I mean, it's got to go over to the right, like, gosh, an inch, maybe 2, and there's not even any room there for that. Like, literally, there's no room to go over that far. I would be touching the radiator at that point. Lovely today. But that is the end for this week. So, for your favorite big guy, which is me, not Jared on Wrench Every Day, or Young Static, or anybody else out there. I'm your favorite big guy right here. This is it. It's a mess. But thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I hopefully will have this somewhat fixed pretty easily, because once this is on, I can start doing my headlight wiring. I can start running my radiator hoses, my trans lines, and basically have this front end done. Then we'll work our way back. Big stuff first, little stuff last. Wiring the dash, steering column, bed, well, frame, actually, we gotta cut the frame and extend it, bed, and then done. So again, like, share, and subscribe. I'm your favorite big guy. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Peace.